Hey folks, what is going on? It is Scott Churchson alongside Mr. Davion Bussey. Robert Manning has no doubt decided to blow us off and not show up today. I'm saying that on the off chance that maybe he just shows up out of nowhere, but he will be here forthwith. Anyway, this is Tales from the Film Set, talking about movies, talking about TV, talking about whatever the heck we feel like in this case here. But first, we're going to talk about Davion. Davion, how are you, man?
I'm fantastically well, Scott.
Hang on a minute. Let me try it again. I don't think we went live.
Oh, no, because I saw recording.
Let me try it again.
Okay.
There we go. If at first you don't succeed, try again, and eventually it'll work. Anyway, nobody who's listening has any idea what I'm talking about, but welcome to Tales from the Film Set anyway. I am Scott Churchson alongside Mr. Davion Bussey. Robert Manning will be in here forthwith, but until that time, we're going to act like he's not here and mock him maliciously for not being here. Oh, hey, look at that. The Rob's here. Anyway.
Sorry.
Talking a little bit about movies, talking a little bit about TV, talking a little bit about basically everything we feel like here. But first of all, what we're going to talk about is how Davion and Robert are doing. Gentlemen, how are you?
I'm fantastically well, Scott and Robert. How about y'all?
I am great.
So.
Sorry that I am 1 minute late. I had to get things set up.
Nah, dude, don't worry about it.
Facebook, tagged everybody, so hopefully we can get some viewers for here on the YouTube. I know we're also on Facebook, but no, I'm good.
You had a good weekend over in Missouri, by the way. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
We had a really good weekend at the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Yes.
And I met one of the original, because there was multiple, but one of the original voices of Bambi, and he is 95 years old. And there's a really good, he's 95, and there's a really good interview that is coming soon that we got to do. We didn't get to do as many interviews, but that's okay. We got a plan for next year. But it was a really good time. I also got to meet Richard Thomas and got him to sign my It Funko Pop because he's Bill. And then one last cool thing I will show off real quick is I got to meet the the Secret Service member that was there when Kennedy got unalived. Saying that so that the algorithm. And we got him to sign these coins, stamp things that when Kennedy got elected as president and when Kennedy had a second kid.
Is that why we say unalive now, to protect against the algorithm?
Yes, it's unalive. Instead of saying the K word, instead of saying the S word, you say pew pew. Yes, there's little things I've learned with doing TikTok and stuff, but unalive is the new word of getting through of saying.
I just thought that was some kind of like a Gen X millennial thing where I didn't realize it was tied to social media.
No, that's a tie of not getting your videos cut down of views and not getting, if you're live like we are, not getting your live shut down, especially on like TikTok and stuff. So yeah.
So it's an unalive parrot sketch then. You're talking about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we got to go to the Cherry Blossom Festival. Wonderful event. Always love this event because the prices are super cheap. Like Bambi, me bringing my own item, he only charged me $20 to sign this Funko. And I know he charges over $50 at a regular convention. So it was a blessing because I didn't have much money. But at this event, you don't have to have much money. And for John Boy, he was only $30.
Nice.
So, and got to meet different other Secret Service members of like all different kinds of presidents. So it was cool. They had like a full-on panel. I got to catch the end of it. So we got a clip from that'll be posting, talking about 9/11, about the Secret Service member that was there for that. So that was cool. And yeah, it was a good overall event. Huge shout out to my friends Sarah and Jonah that actually brought me on the Saturday. And they basically they stayed for a little bit. They stayed in John Boy's line for me so I could go do other things while they stayed because John Boy had an hour and a half line. And I'm specifying this or making it a little clear. Yes, I said hour and a half. And if y'all know me from the last 2 years, that has never happened.
More like a minute and a half.
This event had over 2,000 people, I would say. Probably 2,000 over the entire weekend.
And as a reminder, how many did you have last year?
That's what I was going to say. There was maybe 40 people in the gym at one time. Maybe 80, if that. It was nowhere where you had to stand in lines and actually have to wait 2 hours to an hour and a half to meet somebody. And it was very busy, like very hot, a lot hotter this year because of all the bodies flowing and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, we had a good time. And we got to re-see our favorite person. She is such a sweetheart. Her heart was saddened when I told her we interviewed her last year, and
we'll talk about this one.
There was no audio. There was no audio on her interview, so we got to re-interview Miss Beadle from Little House on the Prairie, and she's from Tremors. She was Nancy. She was in the first one and came back for the third one, and stuff like that. And that was another good interview. And so, yeah, those are our 2 interviews that we'll be posting soon or whenever when we're able to get through them all. But you know,
yes.
So yeah, come to the Cherry Blossom next year. You don't want to miss it.
Fair enough.
There's things for all kinds of people. If you like history, then you're there. If you like celebrities, then you can be there too. And it's people, and there's let's just say there may be some Forrest Gump reunion next year with 2 cast members. We'll just tease a little bit because I got to hear the little maybes. So
nice.
And maybe a main cast member of Little House on the Prairie because they were supposed to be there this year, but conflicting schedules. So that would be really big for next year. So we'll see. So
nice. So we shall see in these days. So
yeah.
Very cool.
Always worth the hour and a half drive. So
yeah, but for you that doesn't even count. That's like walking.
Yeah. For a guy that goes 11 hours, to a convention, to go an hour and a half and meet all the people that we got to see, wonderful. So
you are nuts for that, but that's
yeah.
The what?
You are nuts for that. You know that, right?
I what? Wait, no.
You're nuts. NVTS
nuts. Going 11 hours. It's called you got to make your dreams come true, and they ain't gonna come true by themselves. I mean, for example, Phase on Love, he has not done a convention since Pensacon last year. So that was my one and only time to meet Mr. Phase on Love. So I mean, you go for what's important. Yes, I know I'm a little insane, but it's all good. So yeah. So there's the Cherry Blossom.
Nice. Good on you, man.
Shout out to the Reverend for letting us be there.
So we're going to be talking a little bit about Gash or Trash tonight because I know you guys love that sort of thing, so we're going to get to that. Before I get to that, however, I have a Today in Movie History for you guys.
Woo!
This one, on a scale from 1 to 10, is about a 9.5 in difficulty. This is probably one of the hardest ones I have ever done because nothing comes out in April.
Okay.
This is a forgotten third movie that was made famous and kind of a launching vehicle for a blonde that was in the first 2 movies. The main cast of this was a pair of twins that got their own start opposite as recurring characters in another TV show on Nickelodeon that also starred a pair of twins.
Legally Blonde.
You're pretty much right. Yeah, Legally Blonde 3. Damn it! Like I'm hyping this thing up to be like the hardest one ever.
Wait,
what was the giveaway?
The twins, and when you said there was a movie about a blonde, and it had 3.
What twins were you talking about? Mary Kate and Ashley?
No.
What twins?
Legally Blondes.
And there was a third one?
Yeah.
There was. 2009. Centered around the heretofore unmentioned cousin of Elle.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
I know you were shocked that I answered that question.
You know what it is? When I said Blonde, I forgot the actual name of the movie was Blonde. Oh my God. You know.
Yeah, you came along with the title. Good job.
I blew it on that one. I totally blew it.
You were so hyped that you're like, this is going to be the hardest one. And Dave's like, Legally Blonde. And you're like, actually, what you should have did is you should have told him no. Because it was not Legally Blonde. It was Legally Blonde 3.
It was close enough for government work.
But you could have screwed with his brain.
Yeah.
Not really.
That is incorrect.
Because
the answer we're looking for is Legally Blonde.
Yeah, you should.
All right, next time around, I will make it harder for real. So, I screwed up when I said the word blonde. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I shouldn't have did that. All right, next. Listen, I will redeem myself next week when I find something.
Okay, but that was good because I was like April, and really April helped.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Because Dave was there for the premiere.
No,
he was in line to go see that movie 16 years
that
ago.
was when I was in that movie came out when I was in high school.
Yeah, we know you were in line.
No, I wasn't. It's just that college, I had a female roommate that watched that film.
Oh, yeah, you hear that?
Yeah.
You know,
you wouldn't have been in college.
If you had gotten, if I needed to, I was going to mention the fact that she had married a co-star, divorced them, and then married someone else, and they got divorced because of irreconcilable differences because of the failed streaming platform Quibi. If you remember Quibi.
Yeah.
Don't even know what that is.
I do.
Quibi,
well, congratulations.
Quibi was a platform that actually Kiefer Sutherland was tied to, where he played an FBI agent as opposed to like a CTU agent, because that's what he always did. Which was just like 7 to 9 minute episodes of everything. The entire platform was just nothing but like 7 to 9 minute episodes, but geared up to be something that people would get hooked into.
Yeah.
And it started out great and then had like a 92% unsubscribe, like once they had to pay for it. And apparently that was the reason for Reese Witherspoon's second divorce.
Yep.
Never met her, though. Kind of would like that. All right. Anywho's, we are going on to Cash or Trash. In this case, this is going to be one of the movies that we are going to be discussing in this case.
Yeah.
I did not pull up the budgets on this. Rob, I don't know if you got the chance to or not.
No, I had something happen.
You did. Okay. So what we're going to do is, we're going to start, and we're going to kind of go in order a little bit on this one. So since basically we're talking Final Destination, we're going to start with Final Destination.
All right.
So Final Destination, what's that?
I said, okay. Yes, let's start with this one.
So Final Destination, I believe the 5th one in right now. It has a budget somewhere between $23 and $40 million is the number.
That's all?
That's all?
That's all we're getting. Yeah.
Then cash.
I would say cash.
A Final Destination movie.
This has such a unique fan base to this movie. It's insane, that, and that's why a lot of people are terrified when you go down a street and you see, not talking about you, Dave, but there are people that are terrified when you go down the road and there's a truck with a bunch of wood.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was like, no, I'm reason
So, and that's because of this movie was the one to do it and that could actually happen in will be the first I'll be able to watch in theaters. Oh, nice.
The first final.
Yeah.
Finally, the first Final Destination you can watch.
I think that may be my friend Sarah, but I could be wrong.
Well, it's funny because I remember the first one when I saw it in theaters. And it scared the hell out of me, man.
I know one thing that freaked me out is if you had the DVD of, I forgot which one it was. I think it was the second one. There was a mini game that you could play, and it lets you know when exactly you died or survived.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was kind of freaky. I was like, okay, let's put this thing away. That's kind of freaky.
But I was about to say to y'all, but there's a possibility I may be doing a review on this one.
Hey, if you can do it, man.
Yeah, do it. I'll have
Just
a review.
Do it.
I'll have a review for you tomorrow. But it's a
Cool.
movie everybody's seen, but it'll be funny to review it.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go watch Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith tomorrow.
Okay.
For the 20th anniversary.
Oh, dag! I was about to say.
By the way, spoiler alert: Anakin becomes Darth Vader.
No! Okay, I'm not going tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Scott.
Matter
Hey,
of fact,
I just saved you $12.
hey, Scott, you
Actually,
think I should show him? You think I should show him?
jokes
yes,
on you,
actually, go ahead and show him.
Joke's on you. It's $5.75 tomorrow because it's Tuesday at the AMC.
$6? That's not bad. Well, apparently it pulled in like $42 million over the weekend.
Yeah, it's now the #1 movie that's made the most money for a re-release. And it makes sense because last year, Star Wars Phantom of the Menace did its 25th anniversary. And I'm actually driving, or my friend is driving an hour away for us to go to the theater to go watch it.
Okay, ladies.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Part of the reason why it's doing well, because so much of the Disney Star Wars stuff is shit.
Well, and to be honest, it's my favorite Star Wars movie of all of them. Oh, you got the popcorn bucket. Yeah, I don't have $45 to spend on that thing.
Who said I paid $45?
I'm just saying that's how much
He paid
costs.
$90.
You paid $90?
No, I'm joking.
Okay. Can I hear the sound effects?
I am not pulling the thing out yet.
Oh, you son of... Then why even show it? Put it away. That's trash.
No, it's not.
It's trash.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a popcorn bucket, and you can basically put popcorn in Darth Vader's head, and it does the sound. It does the sound effects, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just not going to do it at this moment because
it is positive review.
Thank you, Sarah J. It is beautiful.
Hey, Sarah J, are you my friend? I think that's my friend.
Hi, my name is Teddy Ruxpin. Can you and I be friends?
Right, exactly. No, but I think because it's YouTube, because the link that I posted on my Facebook was the one you shared to the chat, but I forgot it wasn't the Facebook. Okay. So I posted that and I added everybody. So Sarah J, I'm pretty sure, is my friend that brought me the cherry blossom. I could be wrong. Clarify who you are. No.
And there's another popcorn bucket that I have. Matter of fact, I should reveal it because it's right here. And I got the banner from Accountant 2.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got the banner for that. Oh, yeah, the truck, too.
Was that?
The popcorn bucket.
For what?
For Accountant 2.
Oh.
Nice.
Cool.
The banner's on the other side of the room. I'm not going to get it.
And that you probably spend $50
on. No.
45?
Thank you, AMC. You know
AMC hooked you up. Good job.
Hey, listen, sometimes you know the right people.
Right?
And it's not just because basically Davion is just a sexy bastard.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the bald head.
So.
Thank you.
They go,
bald head makes
eyes!
The bald head makes miracles.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I said cash. I'm guessing Dave's going to say cash.
Yeah.
At 23 to 40 million, I think it's a safe bet. Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, it probably
40 million. It's easily going to make 80 million. And when we talk about things that are easily going to make money, it's like the Minecraft movies almost at $1 billion now.
Dude, how much money has been made from Chicken Jockey?
Yeah.
And the only reason I really think Final Destination Bloodlines is going to really increase their value, it may triple due to the fact of Tony Todd.
No, it's gonna. Yeah, it's his last movie. No, it's easily gonna make about. I would say
that won't affect the kids, but it'll affect the older ones. Yeah.
I would say it's easily gonna make 200 to 300, if not 400, because we don't have any other horror films that are out, and there are big horror people. So what you could do is drop your kid off at the Minecraft movie, or you got the Lilo and Stitch movie coming up that we will be talking about. There are a lot of kids movies this month that'll be out at the same time, so you can go watch a horror film, which would be the Final Destination, and just drop your kid off at maybe not the Minecraft movie because your kid may be maybe kicked out if they're not behaved. There's been some crazy things, but yeah, that Minecraft movie, I think I checked the box office right now on Mojo. It's at like $830 million, which by next weekend I think it's going to because it should still be in theaters because of how much money it's making. It should make $1 billion next weekend.
And Sarah, you're definitely right. For a horror movie, it has great promotion. I like Sarah. I think Sarah should be on the show. We might be.
We could benefit from a little more double X chromosome around here.
But I don't know if it's my friend.
A little too much of this is XY in this inside the
maybe they
stream.
just don't want to be, connected to me. They're like, I'm not the Sarah you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Queens of the Ring and one photographer for college sports, most of Streampunk is pretty much all guys.
Yeah, we do need a female. It'd be nice.
Yeah. So, all right, so that's one. So you got, I think, all in agreement on that. That even if 40 million, it could do 80.
Easy cash.
This next one, however, you want to take a guess?
Is it Stitch?
Nope.
No. Oh, Thunderbolts. Okay. This one, I don't know what the budget is.
I know what the budget is.
It's going to be instant cash.
Yeah, it's going to be instant cash. And
I'll tell you why, Scott, because I know we've had our doubts about this movie, but there are enough people that I trust that got to go to the premiere on this, and this has had nothing but 100% saying that Marvel's finally back, that this movie is very important to the rest of the MCU. They did a good job with character development, and there's 2 post-credit scenes. The first one's a silly one, but the second one's very important to lead up to the next film.
Right.
I don't usually trust a lot of people's reviews, but there's enough people that I know personally that have already seen this movie, and it's going to make me see this.
Okay, so both of you guys say cash on this, huh?
Yes.
What is the? I'm guessing the budget's $200 million.
300, 350
between the two.
Well, if it's as good as what they're saying, I could see this making 7. I mean, if the freaking Minecraft movie can make $800 million, and that's basically based on kids, if this is a legit good Marvel movie, which I obviously can't judge for myself until I see this, if it's a legit good Marvel movie that's rewatchable, this will easily make its money.
Yeah, but see, it doesn't matter if it's a good movie or not. It matters whether people give a shit about it.
That's why
the reality is people lost interest in Marvel.
Movie. It has to be a good movie. If it's a trash movie, kind of like Captain America 4 was good.
And it failed at the box office.
But it wasn't.
Remember, you have to remember, basically, it also is based on what the predecessors do as well. And when you look at the box office, with the exception of Deadpool and Spider-Man, it's been fail for like the last 5 or 6, even dating back to Ant-Man and Wasp.
I get what you're saying.
Ant-Man 3. So.
I get what you're saying, but I think this movie can't imagine any of those characters beating an Avenger-level threat.
Valid.
Well, that's the intent. That's the purpose of the film. See, they're supposed to be the Suicide Squad of DCU.
That's what I was going to say. They're basically the Suicide Squad of Marvel.
I mean, yeah. Sorry.
Yes, and Suicide Squad did so well for DC. Both of them.
It did. Box office-wise.
So this one, depending on the direction, if it has good reviews on, like Rob said, it should be
the one to counteract with the Suicide Squad, that did great in box office, and even though if some people may talk trash about the movie, it still made good in box office, and it's what helped launch Margot Robbie's career as Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Yeah. Now Tyler is saying it's 450 for Thunderbolts. I'm seeing right now, production budget was 200. Then you got marketing and promotion 300 to 350, and then of course 50% split with the theaters themselves. So you're going to have to look at 700 to 750 in order to basically prove yourself cash.
Yeah, and I'm confident with this movie.
Okay.
And I'm confident too. I think this movie may pull it off and be a little bit, probably be the saving grace for the Marvel universe. I mean, Marvel Studios.
The only issue which could make it become not trash, but I think Scott's going to go by saying, I think Scott's going to go trash, in my honest opinion. But the thing that could hurt this movie is the fact that you do need to technically watch Black Widow. You need to watch Hawkeye. You need to watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show if you haven't already seen it. There are different. You have to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. There are certain movies this movie does take a lot of research if you want to understand all the references.
Right.
But we're also talking about the same crowd that went and saw Deadpool Wolverine. That that took research too. But that's the only downfall I could see, because there are a lot of research you would have to technically do to learn the lore of all these characters.
But see, people don't want to put that time in. People don't want to have to work to go spend go spend money to see a movie.
Like I said, we will see. I hope in about this comes out this coming up weekend?
This weekend, yeah.
Yeah. So I hope by next Monday I can go, Scott, you're wrong.
I'm making notes, by the way. I will send them afterwards.
Okay.
So
making notes about
who said what.
Okay.
Researching bad movies. That's what Sarah J said.
Yes. Thank you for the homework on that. Appreciate it.
Okay. What did are we able to pull up what was box office on the last one? Because this is a part 2 of the first one.
Yeah. Let's see. Last one was what? Impossible Fallout?
It says the Final Reckoning.
Dead. Oh boy. Dead Reckoning, the first one, did 571.
So that was probably cash because the budget was probably 150.
Yeah, and the budget on this one's about 400.
This is $400 million.
The reported budget for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is $400 million. This makes it one of the most expensive films ever produced. The high budget was likely due to production delays and escalating costs, including strikes due to delays due to strikes, and a malfunctioning submarine used in filming. Multiple sources have confirmed or reported on the $400 million budget, including the Town podcast via World of Real.
I'm going to say trash.
Yeah.
I'm going to
say trash.
I think so. I think 400 is too much of a nut.
At this point, no offense to Mr. Tom Cruise, you're beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
These movies should have been done 3 movies ago.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, the reason why I say trash is because, yes, it's the final movie, but are you going to get the amount of audience to reclaim or double your budget? And be honest with you, for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, it's not going to hit $1 billion.
And there's too many good movies coming out this month with next month that they're probably family saving up for, either because we have a lot of good movies next month to talk about too. There's a lot of good June ones.
Well, we got 2 more on this one, so.
Huh?
We got 2 more to go into on this side.
No, I know. So we all said trash. I think so. I mean, yes, cool that he does all his own stunts. I have very high praise for him. But I'll be honest, I haven't even seen part 1 of this, so I'm not going to be seeing part 2.
I haven't seen any of them since the second one.
I went and saw I think it was the 4th one that went in theaters about 7 or 8 years ago. I went on a date with that one and fell asleep.
Nice.
Yeah, this movie. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Tom Cruise, but I will say I always like that running the bases beat Top Gun and
all right. Lilo
Stitch, instant cash, going to make $1 billion, and you can write that in your notes right now. Going to make an easy $1 billion.
I will say close to $1 billion, but if we got to find out what the budget is.
No, it doesn't matter what the budget is.
Yes, it does.
No,
the budget's $1 billion.
What?
The budget's $1 billion.
Seriously?
No, he's not serious.
No, it's not official, but they estimate it's somewhere around $80 million, which is what the first one was, or the original.
Fast and Furious, look at that franchise. Hey, I like my Fast and Furious. Thank you very much.
Funny thing about the Fast and the Furious movies is that they were a lot of fun for a while because you can just shut your brain off. And then I feel like after the 7th one, maybe even the 8th one. I mean, I can live with the 8th one when they're basically just trying to race the submarine and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I can get away with that. The car scene and all this kind of stuff.
You still shut off your brain.
Yeah, but after 8, it was just like, okay, and now John Cena is the long-forgotten brother. Never mentioned all the time they talking about family, and it's like, okay.
And then all of a sudden, yeah, family.
Yeah. And you know how I feel about bringing back the Brian character constantly, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
There's one more coming. I'll take a look at it. But I think we can put that franchise to bed. But this one, I think Cash is an easy bet on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we have one more Fast and Furious movie.
Yes, we do.
Maybe two.
And basically, if they don't go to the moon or just to the ocean floor, I'm going to be pissed off in this case. They got to do one or the other.
No, they're going to make it's going to be 3, and then the third one, it's going to be crossover with Triple X and Dominic Toretto have to face off each other.
and then basically the Iron Giant shows up, and then they end up back in World War II with trying to save Private Ryan.
And there's dinosaurs.
And then basically he meets a character that called the Pacifier as a nanny.
Yeah.
What else did Vin Diesel do?
Diesel. But no. So Lilo and Stitch, I really think that we've talked so much trash about this whole stupid Snow White movie, and there's a good reason why we did, because that movie bombed. And it's great that Disney will be safe because of this movie. This movie will pick up the slack of Snow White. Doesn't matter how much money they lost on Snow White. This movie's going to recover them. We don't know what the per se budget is, but I'd probably say 150, if not 100 million. Is my estimate.
They're saying 80-ish.
So 80-ish? Okay, even that. This movie, based on the trailer, this looks like one of the best live action, because they've even put this trailer of the live action side by side with the other trailer. It's almost identical, but with little flair twists of the live action that make you still love and adore Stitch. And yeah, I think it was cool what they did at the Super Bowl where Stitch was running in the fields,
Right.
This movie's gonna, I think, easily make $1 billion. They showed us that they can do the technology and stuff. They need to basically take this approach on any other live action they do. And I know there's been reports that Tangled got canceled because of the whole, that they're canceling a lot of their live actions. But if they do what they did with this Lilo and Stitch movie, give us a Treasure Planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Or
yes.
Or
Atlantis,
Atlantis possibly.
Always forget about the one with Milo. That's Michael J. Fox.
Atlantis. Yeah.
Give us Atlantis live action. Those
Atlantis could work. El Dorado, maybe even, depending.
What?
El Dorado possibly too.
Yeah, El Dorado. I mean, those are.
If you got Elton John to do the music again for that.
I mean, he's still alive.
Yeah, got to be pushing 80 though.
Yeah. So, but anyways, and the only other movie I can compare to this that looked good based on the trailer is the new How to Train Your Dragon. That looks just as good. I know it's two different companies.
We'll cover that one eventually. That's what month is that? June?
That's I think either June or July. I think it's July, to be honest.
Okay.
And July is going to be a busy month.
Yeah, we'll cross those bridges as we come.
Yeah, we're going to have a busy summer. So guys, be saving your paychecks because the movies want your money. And yes,
all right, so we got
on Tuesdays at AMC's, you can go to your theater and you can watch a movie for like $5.75 if you have an AMC. So,
all right, we got one. We got one left.
Was this the last one?
This is the last one. Yes. Now I'm gonna kick this one off because this is obviously something more in my wheelhouse. Because of my loyalty to both the Karate Kid franchise for so long, and also even both Karate Kid, and also obviously Jackie Chan for 30 plus years at this point, 40 even. This movie is coming in between 100 and 150 million. There's a lot of questions as to why it's costing that much, which I can only imagine probably has to do with the fact that they couldn't figure out what they're doing and possible rewrites and a few other things in there too. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say this is going to be trash.
No.
Because at this point in time.
Yeah. I like Sarah's comment.
At this point in time, Cobra Kai is done and passed. It was cool. But nope. But the kids don't give a shit about Ralph Macchio or Jackie Chan. I will go see it, but I do not feel it's going to do well.
I can't wait for you to eat your words.
That's cool.
And you and
listen, do you think it's easy for me to say this?
No.
It must be. You like. I'll let Dave talk and then I'll talk.
Okay. Karate Kid Legends. I love the concept of introducing a new kid. I love the concept that you're mixing karate and kung fu together. Like Scott said, when Cobra Kai came out, it was like the next big thing. But on the other hand, I do disagree with Scott.
Okay.
Thank you.
But only if they do it right. And when I say do it right, that means if you're going to do the Karate Kid Legends, you're going to have to bring either all the cast members or somebody from Cobra Kai in this film to make it more interesting than what it is. And I don't care if it's a cameo. I don't care if it's an end credit scene. I don't care if it's someone that's the secret villain. You have to bring somebody from Cobra Kai in this film to make it what it is. Well, a money-making machine.
My theory to go back up with Day is that we're going to see LaRusso's daughter because of where she was traveling.
In Spain.
She was traveling overseas, and that could lead up where she meets up with Jackie Chan's character, because we don't know exactly. I know Jackie Chan comes to Ralph Macchio's house in the trailer, but that don't mean that he doesn't meet up with the daughter or something like that. I think we could possibly see Miguel. But and another aspect.
I believe Amanda, the Amanda character, Ralph Macchio, or Daniel's wife is in this. She at least has one scene.
Oh, really?
I believe so, because in the trailer, he's talking to someone inside the house about his karate swan song.
Okay. Yeah, and I think there's a reason why they're not telling us stuff like that, because they want to legitimately keep it a surprise, and I would love to be surprised. I think this movie, so what are we saying? It's 100?
100 to 150.
I easily think cash because of the fact that how popular. You may think that the karate or the whole Cobra Kai, you may think that the whole Cobra Kai went downhill after like the last season. But if anything, and me going to these conventions, back 5 years ago, before the Karate Kid came out, like right before, I think it was either they just announced the show. You had, Mr. Ralph Macchio, you had Martin Coben, you had Johnny Lawrence's, and their lines were, they weren't packed. When the show came out, all the lines have been extremely packed. There are so many new fans. I 100% think this is going to be 100% cash. I'm not going to say it's going to make $1 billion, but it has potential to make $1 billion if it's an actual good movie. Yes, I understand we have a lot of good movies coming out too, but if they do the storyline, the only thing yes, Cobra Kai never dies. I mean, you're right. I mean, there's so much potential. The only thing that can make it where I could see them not doing a cameo, the wife makes sense. But if there is no other cameos, with this movie, it is 5 years after the events of Cobra Kai.
I thought it was 3.
Well, the original thing I saw was 5, but maybe they changed it to 3. If it's 3, that's more doable, where you could have the kids still in it because they are a lot older than what their characters were in the first place. So, you can do that.
So, okay, 3 years is what I'm seeing here.
Okay, then it changed. I know when there was first talks of the Karate Kid right after Cobra Kai, I heard 5 years right after the end of Cobra Kai. They said
both Screen Rant and the subreddit also say both say 3 years.
Said 3. Okay, well, still, then 3 is more doable too, to have cameos as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really curious, but it is funny that Ralph Macchio gets to eat his words a little bit, because there was an interview about 10 years ago. Scott will be back. Okay.
Sorry, I had to scratch myself in an
Nope, you're good.
indelicate place.
You're good. But there was a interview with Ralph Macchio. It was when Cobra Kai first came out, and they were talking about cameos and like, do you think that Karate Kid will ever cross over with Jackie Chan's Karate Kid? And he said no. They're two different universes. The only crossover you would see is with Haley Swan or Swank, however you say her last name. I probably said it wrong. Swank.
Swank.
And they said that would be the cameo that he was hoping for. That never happened. So we got this.
And Deion Sanders said no, basically any kid of his should never play quarterback for the Browns. So, sometimes words don't always fly.
It's just funny that, he said all those years ago that he never thought it would, because he said this is a reboot, which it was, and not now, because now it's connected in the same universe. So it would be nice if they go where Mr. Jackie Chan's character knew Mr. Miyagi.
They do. Well, apparently he did know Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
It's already been established.
I'm almost wondering if Jackie Chan's the character that Ralph Macchio was searching for in the scenes of Cobra Kai's last season. He was looking for somebody. That's why I was hoping when we knew this movie was coming out, I was hoping there was going to be some tie-in where, like, you see Jackie Chan's character for a second or something like that. I'm waiting for Karate Kid where they have to fight all the judges for
that's in the Karate Kid alternate universe.
Right.
In the KCU.
So Scott said trash, I said cash, and they said cash.
Yes.
So no way.
I could easily be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if I wasn't.
I think everybody that was in love with the Netflix series, out of respect, is going to go see this because people are still craving more Cobra Kai.
I don't know. It's coming out the week after both Lilo and Stitch and also Dead Reckoning.
But you may not have the same. You may not have the same audience that likes Lilo and Stitch that will go see this.
Yeah, like I said, it's 100 to 150.
I agree with Kyle on this one, barely, because
barely.
Yes,
Cobra Kai never says die. No, barely.
Yeah, but the franchise.
It's gonna at least make $500 million, because you got to think this.
Oh,
I'm updating that in the notes.
Yeah, update that.
Easily. This will make $500 million. This is worldwide. It'd be one thing if we only go by domestic, but we go worldwide. $500 million easily.
Ooh.
He does have a point on that.
Yeah,
I didn't say opening weekend, but $500 million easily.
We know you're not saying opening weekend, but
he does have a point on that. The Chinese market, if it can premiere in China, it could do okay.
Because what has Jackie Chan been in really since the Karate Kid movie?
A lot of Chinese martial arts films.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, he did The Protector. He did another Police Story movie. He's had something in 20. Oh yeah, dude. He is still filming regularly in China. The problem is, and here's the problem. Here's the problem. The Chinese audience does not like American Jackie Chan films because they don't do it the way he wants to do it.
That's the question. What's the last American project that he has done that we would have seen in theaters? None.
The crossover with Jet Li, maybe.
Yeah.
But how many years ago was that?
Oh, you're talking about the Monkey King.
I believe so, yes.
But like I'm just saying, I haven't seen anything recently within the last 5 years, in my opinion. I don't think I've seen anything that was in my theater, at least.
Which is why, because here's the thing. I threw a quiz out there at one point asking who was the better stunt person, Tom Cruise or Jackie Chan. I was surprised. 70% of the people that voted said Tom Cruise.
Wow.
Well,
we want to know who I would have said. Jackie Chan.
So would I.
Said Jackie, but I say Tom Cruise. Is Jackie hanging out of actual planes?
No, but Jackie Chan make more risky stunts than
You don't think it's risky being up in the air on a plane hanging for your life?
Yeah.
You are aware that Jackie Chan did hang 1,000 feet in the air in Police Story 3, right?
Exactly.
On a ladder, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, they both risked their life. I mean, freaking, that was cool that Tom Cruise got to actually ride an actual plane for Top Gun. I mean, they all have their, I don't know. I think it's hard to pick between the two. But anyway, so yeah, I think easily, depending on the market of, but it being worldwide, I don't know. It could even make $1 billion, but don't quote me on that because I'm not saying it's making $1 billion, but it could. Anything's possible. What? Okay, actually, I think this is what Scott's bringing. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, this was filmed in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
And yes, he is quite literally hanging for real 1,000 feet in the air at the top point of this. So, and as you can see, there is nothing hanging on. There is nothing below him right there.
Correct.
Now, in this case, also he did hit those objects for real. He did get hit by a helicopter also in an outtake. Because a helicopter actually, the helicopter did an incorrect thing, bumped him, and then he bumped into a pipe, and I believe separated his shoulder on that.
Yeah.
And also credit to Michelle Yeoh for some of the stunts that she pulled off in this thing too. But like I said, Tom Cruise never did that. That is really him hanging on there for real life.
But the one Mission Impossible, he was hanging from an actual airplane up in the air too.
What did he have underneath him though?
Nothing. No, they were up in the air. I watched the documentary thing talking about him doing his stunts and stuff.
Now, in this case, here's what what, we might have to do a comparison on this.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to do a best. This.
So he actually hit that
Kyle, if you're listening to this right now, this is a react video. Jackie Chan's best versus Tom Cruise's best. Oh, that is a good one, sir.
Scott,
please tell me you're listening and you can comment on that.
I agree. I think we should have a Tom Cruise, Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Who's the best?
So, was that the thing you were talking about they messed up where he actually hit a sign, or was that
in this case here, you can see he had to pull up quick right there to avoid the he's calling it a stunt off.
Yeah.
But
okay. One other quick thing can you do for me, Scott? Yeah. Look up what Karate Kid's first trailer did for this movie that's coming up. I'm just curious what YouTube views was.
Wait, so how many views the Karate Kid Legends trailer got?
Yes.
I could check that.
Because I know we've done this with the Snow White and stuff. I'm just curious of what the first trailer.
Let's see. The new trailer got 22 million views. The one from 4 months ago got 18 mil.
So there's at least 22 people.
The Jaden Smith, victory moment from the one from 2010 got 5.7 mil. The official trailer, Karate Kid Legends #2, got 2.1 million. That's an IGN one. Final trailer, moviegasm.com, 249.
259 million.
22 is the highest I saw.
Yeah, 22 million.
But even if 22 million people see this in theater, it'll be definitely cash.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think Kyle has it right that it's going to be cash, but barely.
Yeah.
Because again, here's the thing, and I think somebody just commented about the Rush Hour movies. The Rush Hour movies did not do well in China because even though it was the first time that Jackie Chan could do stunts the way Jackie Chan wanted to do them, it wasn't his style. It wasn't his approach. Because in China, and this is the funny thing, I've done Asian martial arts movies. Asian movies fly. We have done stunt scenes. We had fight scenes that would last 1 minute. We knocked those bastards out in 3 hours. But in the U.S., a stunt scene, I saw it on Gotham all the time. We'd have a fight scene that would last 15 seconds, and in the actual episode, it would take 13 hours to do. Because you had to sit there, and you had to rehearse, and you had to do lighting and stunt court. And when Chan came over and trying to do the Rush Hour movies, like, why don't I just jump and do it? It's like, no, we have to map this out. We have to plan it. We have to do all this kind of stuff. We're going to set it up for after lunch. And he just started doing it, while they were sitting there debating because he can do it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why he had a hard time with the American Hollywood market, and why the Asian market didn't take to American movies well, because they were just not impressed with how it was done here. I don't blame them.
Well, we'll see. That's all I gotta say.
And I agree with you.
I think a stunt off is a great idea.
Can we do one other thing? Could you give me a price of what Karate Kid with Jackie Chan made in box office?
You talking about with Jaden Smith?
The Jaden Smith one, yeah.
The next Karate Kid.
It grossed $359 on a budget of 40.
359. That's not bad.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was Jaden Smith and Will Smith having a tie to it too.
Well, that probably too. But what year was that?
2010.
Oh wow.
With music by Justin Bieber, which also was true.
That's wild.
Yes, it was the Justin Bieber effect. Because you know what? That Jaden Smith, he's got a big Hollywood career coming from him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it's one of those things that I know it pissed him off a lot because, again, it just takes so long. And the one thing I'll say, listen, I like Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai spoke to me the first couple of seasons hardcore, in a way like nothing else had. But the one thing I will say about this, and you saw it in seasons 4, 5, and 6, you can tell that Ralph Macchio and William Zabka could not fight. You can tell a good martial artist from a bad one.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that was interesting, this is where I have a question on this. Chen always said that if you want to showcase a martial arts scene, and this is the camera, by the way, this is the wide camera, you always have to take it shot at a distance so you can see everything as it happens. The way you can tell if a fight scene involves actors who are not good at fighting is if you see constant quick cuts between them.
Right.
Because it flips between it because it's the editing part that makes it look decent. But if you watch a lot of the old Chan fight scenes, especially the Asian ones, you see it's all a wide shot and maybe just a couple camera angles on different sides. But it would be a long string, especially like the fight scene from Gorgeous, for example, the fight scene from Wheels on Meals with Benny the Jet. I mean, those are some glorious fights, but they were all shot wide, so you can showcase everybody that was in there. But you watch U.S. fighting, and you'll watch it when Thunderbolts comes out. You're going to see fight scenes that are going to have so many quick cuts on so many different angles because these guys aren't really well trained, and because Hollywood protects them from possible injury.
Right.
So.
Because for a stunt expert, you want to make it look good, even when they don't know how to fight on thing. Because let's say you can't be a Michael Jai White, you can't be a Jean-Claude Van Damme, you cannot be a Steven Seagal, you cannot be any of these martial artists that's well known, or let's say Arnold Schwarzenegger. You cannot be what's his name? Oh God,
Sylvester Stallone.
Yes, Sylvester Stallone. All these action stars, there are people that you looked at and they, you could tell that they cut scenes to make them look good. And then there's fights, like actual fighters, people that actually went to the dojo, have all these skills from martial arts. And you will see, like, it looks like it's being edited, but it's not.
I will say, I know with Cobra Kai, they all had to actually learn martial arts and stuff.
Now watch this scene here. This is the elevator fight scene from Captain America 2. You see all of the cuts that are happening right now. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to show you the fight scene from the movie Gorgeous that I was just talking about. Now watch in this case here. See how long those takes are right there. Now you see the hop, and then the scene continues.
That's not Von Claude Damme, is it?
No, it's a kid named Bradley Allen.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
No,
I'm seeing it from a distance.
I'm probably gonna.
Yeah, you see why it's a wide shot. Okay, they go in tight here, but you can see a lot of the continued aspect of it. Now, in this particular fight scene, Bradley Allen is a much younger competitor who beat Jackie Chan's character earlier on in the movie.
Right.
But you can see the difference between that and the fight scene from Civil War.
Mm-hmm. And just to plug, there is a convention that deals with stuff like this, like fight martial artists and action stars and all this other stuff, and it's based in New York.
Is that UAB?
Yeah, Urban Action Film Festival.
UAS, sorry. Yeah.
Expo, yeah. And I might be working it this year.
Nice. But like I said, that's the big difference there between US and so. But Steven Seagal, I don't know, did he use stunt doubles?
Wait, did he?
I don't know. Actually,
no. Steven Seagal was the guy that was untouchable.
I don't know. He was the one that basically it's like.
I know supposedly Burt Ward, I don't know if this movie was actually true. They did like an Adam West thing where I think Burt Ward had to do all his stunts because the stunt double was having coffee with Adam West while the stunt double of Adam West was doing the stunts with Burt Ward.
Oh, so basically Adam West's stunt double was doing the scenes. Well, I mean,
but so they did this, and I'd have to see how legit this movie was, but they did an Adam West Burt Ward movie about right before Adam passed away, or maybe right after. I can't remember if it was right before or right after, but it was showing the behind the scenes, and Burt was talking, and that's why I have to see if it was for comedy purpose or if it was actually legit. But according to the thing, it was saying in all the scenes that even though there was a paid stunt for Robin, Burt Ward was forced to do a lot of the stunts because the stunt double would be having coffee with Adam West instead of Adam West, vice versa.
They're not them. You capture their stunt doubles. Well, it's funny because a lot of people don't realize that like a stand-in is such a thing too. So you have the stunt double, but you have the stand-in as well, who
like
also looks like he's like the Kmart version of the actor.
Like Scott.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you know what? It's fine.
It pays the bills.
It did. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, in New York City, it's a stand-in right now in New York City makes $253 just to show up. That's before overtime, penalties, and anything else that comes into it. So if you have a 12-and-a-half-hour day, you're making at least $500, probably closer to $550 at minimum, maybe even $600 for a 12-hour day.
And there's a reason. Or with stand-ins or stunt doubles, because I know with like a stunt double, it can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. The stunt part of it, it can be. Now, there are certain rules that happens on the stunt side of things where if the actor is doing an action scene, which even, believe it or not, even if they're driving in a car 10 miles an hour, they have to have a stunt person there in case the principal actor doesn't want to do it. So if there's a scene where the actor gets in the car and then just drives away right down the street, just simple as anybody can do, there has to be a stunt person there in case the actor decides they don't want to do the drive.
Right.
Which most actors are just like, I'll just do it. So the stunt person just gets paid $1,000 at minimum to sit on the sidelines and do nothing. Right. I did that once. It was really nice.
Like for example, like the actor, I think that took in spot of Daniel Radcliffe for Harry Potter. I think it was Harry Potter that's crippled the rest of his life because of a scene that went wrong.
Yes.
And Daniel Radcliffe has, he's donated money to the family and stuff like that. But yeah, he became, and I think somebody from Smallville, if I'm not mistaken, was severely hurt too. So I mean, there's risk, but that's what you take when you're doing certain stunts.
When I, for the React channel, pretty soon, I'm going to probably pull one or both of you guys in on this.
Yeah.
Maybe even this week. I'm going to be breaking down the fight scene from Dark Knight Rises.
Ooh.
I'm going to be talking about it because it was technically the second stunt that I ever did. The first one was for a commercial for something called Breakout Kings on AM. I think it was on AMC. But this was the first big one, and the injuries that happened, the training that we went through. I'm going to be breaking all of that down, while the scene's going to be taking place. And I'm going to probably pause at certain points to talk about certain things. But for the React channel that we're launching on May 1st, I will be discussing everything that I saw. And pretty much everything that I saw. Yes.
I forgot that you were on Dark Knight Rises. So does that mean you were on set with Christopher Judd?
No, but Christian Bale and Tom Hardy.
Okay, because Christopher Judd was on set as well. He talked about being in the movie, so that's why I was just curious. That's the voice of Kronos from God of War.
Maybe. I don't. I mean, here's the thing.
There was a situation on set where a certain Christopher, or they thought it was Christian, got hurt, and everybody was running to see who got hurt, and it was Christopher Judd that got, and not Christian Bale, but they thought it was Christian Bale that got hurt.
Was it Pittsburgh or was that Wall Street?
We don't know.
Because the Pittsburgh, here's the thing, they shot the Pittsburgh stuff first.
Okay.
And that's the end of the fight scene. So when you see them battling up the stairs, and then into the, in there, it's like, Where's the trigger? Where is it? That was all done in Pittsburgh prior to the Wall
Okay.
Street stuff. The Wall Street stuff was done in November 2011. That the beginning scenes where you had the march and the rush and all this kind of stuff, and you came back to die for us, all of that was done after the Pittsburgh stuff because they shot all of that on location, including the Heinz Field explosion scene.
Okay.
Now, apparently, if I remember correctly, the kid that sang the national anthem was terrible at it.
Wow.
Yeah, just like absolutely brutal. I don't remember the exact specifics of where I heard this from, but apparently he kept singing off key. He was forgetting the words on a regular basis. And Christopher Nolan is not one to be known for his patience.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I will be talking about that one.
All right.
Like I said, what the things that I saw, the things that I dealt with, how I got cast on the whole thing, the entire breakdown. I mean, will I be discussing the incident on the second rehearsal day? I haven't decided yet. It's been 12 years. That person is still dead, but I probably should. I'm debating how much in detail I'm going to go to that one, but but yes, for the record, yes, people legitimately did die in that film.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think we should if we're doing another Reacts thing too, I would love to do a React video where we talk about The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, I could probably do that one too. I mean,
I love your story. I know the stories, and they're great.
No, that's not a bad idea. I mean, the React channel is not just sports stuff. It's also just whatever we kind of feel like.
I think
so maybe I should.
You actually talking about the experiences like with The Dark Knight Rises, or if we talk about The Greatest Showman, talk about movies that, that became very popular. Like The Greatest Showman still has, I mean, they're literally doing a musical now of it that's going to be on Broadway because of how much fan it has 10 years later. And,
let's talk about that. We're still live for tail.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, this is my fault. I blame myself and no one else for that. But let's talk about that once we get out of here. Because I think I have a couple of ideas that I want to do.
We have one last quick thing to talk about.
Yes.
And that's you. No, I don't mean you, the audience. And I don't mean you, Scott. I don't mean you, Day. And I don't even mean me. I mean you, season 5 of You on Netflix that just
okay,
on Thursday.
Yeah,
we will not do spoilers because I'm guessing Day has not seen it. I wasn't going to do spoilers. I just wanted to give a quick thing to say it is on Netflix. We should talk about it next Monday because by then, if Day hasn't seen it by next Monday, shame on him. No, but I will say that it is out. You could tell that this was the last season, and there's some choice words they decided to really use that really frowned upon in the States, but you could tell that it's the last season, so they're like, just let's throw the things. I will say it is a mental mind game. If you watch all 10 episodes in a row, it was kind of mental. I got to binge all 10 episodes, and I'm like, wow, why do I watch the show? It gets you to love a psychopath. And that's not a spoiler because you've known that since season 1. I mean, he is a psychopath. And you get to love his character. So, but yeah, that's what's the Hava? Okay. Anyways, but yeah, so season 5 is out of You. It was good. It is the last season. And yeah, so go watch it on Netflix. And we will give you our full review next week. I would give the season probably about an 8.5 to 9 out of 10.
Okay. Because in this case here, some people were kind of like, it's kind of mid at this point.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, there's some people that don't like the ending, and I'm not going to give the ending, but there are people that did not care for the ending. But there's only 2 ways this show could have happened. But anyways.
I was going to say, is it end like Dexter where he becomes like a lumberjack or something? Day, you wanted to talk about Havoc real quick, right?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, my first time watching this film, I'm like, yo, this movie actually give you Max Payne vibes when you watch this film. The action scenes is very gory, but Tom Hardy, Whitaker, is it Forrest Whitaker? Yep.
Yeah, the guy from Battlefield Earth.
The guy that was just in Kings of Kings.
The guy that was in Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
The guy that was just in Kings of Kings with Jim Cummings.
Right.
Hey, listen. I've met him from Godfather of Harlem. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. I just have to say this movie is awesome. I love this film. I could watch this again and enjoy every fight scene, every gun wolf scene, and be enjoying the gore of this movie. This movie, I'm sorry, I will have to say for a next Netflix film, this should have been in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's strict contracts like we discussed earlier. Happy Gilmore 2 should be in theaters, but it's strictly Netflix.
Yeah,
but see, Adam Sandler has an 8-film Netflix deal.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably number 7 or 6, 7, or 8, I'd imagine now.
I get it, but it's like Dave says, a movie like this, but that's how they get their money is by putting it on Netflix only, and you can only watch it on Netflix.
No, and we're cool with it. It was just the fact that
it would have been better in a theater,
like an IMAX theater.
Yeah, I get it.
Because this was mind blowing. I really had to say, just for my not really little TV. This for my TV by itself, it wasn't doing the movie.
Not
job.
your 800-inch screen TV that you get to watch at the movie theater. I get it.
Right.
Yeah, but the good news is you can pause it whenever you want to go pee.
True.
That's true.
But it's also the experience of going to the theater is holding that bladder. That if I move, if I get up right now, I may miss something major. I mean, those are the movies I like.
Is true,
Rob. You sit there and you do this for the last 45 minutes.
No, I meditate.
You hit your sides, and when you hit your sides, it tricks your brain to think, and you don't have to go to the restroom.
Or the other option is you just go.
And you miss a good scene in the movie.
No, I mean you just go. You just go.
Or you just don't drink. No, I have a friend, when we go, he literally does not buy a drink, so he does not have to go to the bathroom.
They have these adult diapers for the golf course. Maybe if you got to watch a 3.5 hour epic, you invest in some of those for yourself.
Imagine the movie theaters sell diapers.
Oh, it smelled like urine.
The next time that Scorsese has a film, actually, that could work on a few fronts. Actually, come to think of it.
I mean, if we get another Oppenheimer kind of movie that was 3 hours long,
dude, yeah.
So. But check this out on Netflix. This is a must watch. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
So that's why you haven't watched season 5 because you're busy watching this. Got it.
No, I just been.
I'm kidding, Dave. I'm giving you a hard time.
I just happen to be back on the roll with going to screenings.
A new Barbenheimer. Oppenheimer Part 2 and Barbie Part 2.
Oh, and we're done. I mean, not done. Can I do one more movie?
Yeah, all right.
Even though it's not up yet, but
that'll be $20.
But because this live, I'm going to basically tell people about Until Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see Until Dawn yesterday, and by far, for me, not for anybody else, because everybody has their own take on a video game adaptation films, I enjoyed the film for what it was. The concept to me was very well done. Was there certain things that were like, why they do this, why they do that? Yeah, but it flowed with the film. It gave me Happy Death Day meets Cabin in the Wood vibes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you seen those two movies, this is Until Dawn. Now, comparing the film to the video game.
Mm-hmm.
If you see this movie, they do make references to the game. And the references gonna bring everything together if you pay attention. Some people didn't pay attention to it, others did. I was one of those others.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to spoil too much, but let's say it does connect to the game.
Okay.
overall, I will not say that this film is better than Sinners. I will not say this movie is better than the Accountant 2. But I will say this: it is in my top 10 because I really enjoyed it. It was a fun movie to watch. It wasn't like is it going to be something you will watch on Netflix or any streaming platforms? Yes. You probably will watch it as one of those films that you like, oh, let's just check it out. And you're like, okay, this is a good horror film. Good twists, good turns. But to see it in theaters, it was still a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
But it is something that I will probably watch on streaming, but in a good way. Compared to when I tell people, oh, it's something you're probably just going to watch on streaming just to pass time. No, you can watch this on streaming and enjoy it and talk about it with your peoples. It's fun. It's a fun horror trope film. And to me, that's why I told people I give it a 7.7.
Is that rounded off, or is it 7.7 even?
7.7 even.
Okay, not 7.69.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
Okay, good. So, cool.
And by the way, Kings of Kings was good in theaters. I don't think I got to mention that last week, but we went.
I'm seeing that it's showing up on my Fire Stick a lot right now.
Yeah, yes. I went and saw it in a drive-in theater. Yes, they still exist. Went with my best friend Zach. We did a double feature of only $6 it costed to go see King of Kings and go see the Minecraft movie. I did fall asleep in the Minecraft movie, but I also don't care about the Minecraft movie because I was not a Minecraft gamer. It never appealed to me. I only went because for my friend to take me, which King of Kings played first. I was the King of Kings. He didn't really want to see King of Kings, but he wanted to see Minecraft, and it only costed $6 to see 2 movies. He said, okay, we're going to go. So we both got what we wanted out of it. He woke me up for the chicken jockey scene. And I will say that movie alone for Minecraft is meant to play at an outside theater because it doesn't matter if you're screaming and stuff because you're outside. So that was my little take.
That's fair.
When you got to see the meme, I am Steve. You know, people are screaming in their car, woo! But that's okay because you're in the outdoors. So that was good. And the King of Kings was great. Jim is more than 3 characters than it shows. So it was funny being, I text Margaret in the middle of the movie. I'm like, yo, was that Jim the blind? Was Jim the voice of the blind guy that Jesus heals? And she said yes. And, you know, so it was cool to be like, yeah, I hear Jim's voice and stuff like that. And it was good. And there's stuff I couldn't believe they put in a kid's film. So
the Minecraft movie currently is at 815 million, by the way, worldwide.
Oh, I thought it said 30. My bad. So yeah, 815. But that's able to get a billion next weekend.
Yeah, it's actually literally double the next highest U.S. one with Captain America: Brave New World.
Right.
Obviously, Nazat 2 is killing everything right now because it's at 1.9 billion.
And Sinners, I don't know how it's doing, but from what I'm hearing, it's doing good.
163.
163?
Yep.
No, that's good because the budget was very low.
What did we say the budget was?
For Sinners?
Was it only 50 million or something like that? Oh, then no way.
90 million. So it's barely cleared.
So no.
Oh no, it hasn't cleared. I'm sorry, no.
It has not made cash.
Yeah.
So Sinners is trash right now.
Snow White is at 200
by 17 million. Not saying it can't make that next weekend, but with you having new movies comes out, if Sinners ain't doing good in one of the theaters, it's going to get kicked out by the new movies we got coming out.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. So if it makes cash, it's going to make cash barely.
Yeah, highest domestic right now is the Minecraft movie at 379.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Until Stitch. I'm standing on those words. I know it's in the notes. I'm staying in my words. I'll eat my own words.
You're going to eat
$1 billion. $1 billion.
You're going to eat your words.
I ain't going to eat my words. I have faith in Stitch. Stitch is one of the biggest Disney franchises.
No, I'm talking about with Sinners.
Okay. I said it'll barely make it's not making cash. It needs to make 17 more million. So if it makes cash, it'll barely make cash. So
all right, gentlemen. Anything else?
I think that's about it. I mean, we've talked about our movies. We talked about the Cherry Blossom Festival. Go look at their Facebook.
Okay, actually, before, do you want to make it interesting? I'm down for it.
I really think it's gonna make $1 billion, but I don't know what I want to wager.
Okay, well, when's the movie? The movie's not coming out for a couple of weeks, so why don't we do this?
No, Stitch comes out next weekend. May 4th.
Oh yeah, I have May 23rd.
Oh, okay, yeah, we got time. We can
May
talk
23rd.
about that.
So here's what we do. Here's what I do. I say basically, no. I won't do anything on that front. I'm not going to make him do elf-related things. No. Let him keep his elf stuff. You know,
that's not my elf pet. That's
his elf identity. But let's come back to this in like a week or two, maybe next week. We'll see. Basically, all four of us even will come up with an idea of what the bet should be. Both ways, by the way. If it makes $1 billion or it doesn't make $1 billion. If it makes $1 billion, we got to do something here too.
Yeah. All right, that works. I like that. I'll wager. You let us know. Yeah. And if you're watching this still, give us the comments in the after the show. Give us your ideas.
I will my wager, I will wear my Afro hairstyle all day on that Monday.
I will wear one of my wife's dresses if it breaks $1 billion.
Okay.
I gotta find one that's big enough. I gotta talk about. Here's the thing. That is what I'm going to do, but I got to talk to her about this too, out of fairness and respect.
Yeah, because if you wear her dress, that's on you.
I just wear an Afro.
I'll figure something out. We'll talk about this.
But that's what I think. If she says it's okay, I'm willing to do that. I will wear one of her dresses for the show. If she approves it and it makes $1 billion, she is probably going to gleefully pick a dress out for me. Yes, I will do that, and also no hat too, by the way.
Oh wow!
And I will put it in the notes right down there. It's like, you know, why I'm wearing this. So.
Okay.
But here's the thing though. If it doesn't make $1 billion, then it's on you. We got to figure out what to do.
Yeah, figure out something on me.
Kyle, I'm going to throw that to yourself too, man.
Well, you give me ideas, and we'll figure it out. Okay. But on that note.
Oh, I already know what it's going to be.
Okay, well, on that note, that is Day, that is Scott, and I'm Robert Manning. And this is Tales from the Film Set. Woo!